Basic income is ungodly. Redistribution of wealth is ungodly. Giving money to people who aren't working is ungodly. When we sent checks to everybody during COVID, it was ungodly. When we just took a bunch of guys who weren't going to pay off their college loans and just gave them money, it was ungodly.
This isn't just false, it's evil and directly contradicts the teachings of the Bible. In ancient Israel, the Israelites were specifically told when farming to not harvest portions of their land so that the poor and foreigners could eat from them. We see that in Exodus 23:10-11, Deuteronomy 24:19-22, and Leviticus 19:9-10. In Proverbs 14:31, we're told that whoever oppresses a poor man insults his maker, but one who is generous to the needy honors him. In Proverbs 19:17, we're told whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deeds. Jesus says in Matthew 5:42, give to the one who begs from you, and do not refuse the one who would borrow from you. In Matthew 19:21, Jesus tells the rich ruler to sell his possessions and give them to the poor. But according to this guy, Jesus was apparently commanding the rich ruler to do something ungodly. John the Baptist says in Luke 3:11, whoever has 2 tunics is to share with him who has none, and whoever has food is to do likewise. Kind of sounds like some redistributing of wealth, doesn't it? Jesus says that on the day of judgment, he will say to those who are going to hell, depart from me, you cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not welcome me. Naked, and you did not clothe me. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Then they also will answer, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry, or thirsty, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister to you? Then he will answer them, saying, truly I say to you, as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. And in case you don't know who the least of these are, the drug addicts that you turn your nose up, they are the least of these. Those who are struggling with unemployment and they can't get a job, that's the least of these. All the people that you turn your nose up, that's the least of these. And what Jesus says is what you do to those, you do to him. In Acts 2:44, we're told all who believed were together and had all things in common. And they were selling their possessions and belongings and distributing the proceeds to all as any had need. I guess it's a shame the early church didn't have this guy to tell them they were actually acting ungodly. James 2:15-17 says, if a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one of you says to him, go in peace, be warmed and filled, without giving them the things needed for the body, what good is that? So also faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. In ancient Israel, every 7th year, everybody was required to forgive all the debts. Yet supposedly, if we forgive student loan debts, apparently that's ungodly? No. Let me tell you what is ungodly, Pastor Mark. What is ungodly is calling yourself a pastor when you're really just a politician who is twisting the Bible into a hammer to beat down the very flock that you're supposed to be tending, just so you can support your downright vile aversion to helping those in need. And according to Jesus himself, this very attitude you're expressing of refusing to help the poor is something that could very well render you liable to hellfire. So why don't you actually follow the Bible that you say you believe in, instead of your political party's talking points? Why don't you actually forgive the debts of the needy, give generously to the poor, and support social policies that would lift people out of poverty? Because that's what Jesus wants you to do.